The big space station floated quietly above a small, gray moon. It was called Harmony Station, a place where different alien species met to talk and make friends. Most aliens in the Galactic Concord were soft and careful. They came from safe worlds with gentle weather, low gravity, and no dangerous animals. They liked peace, quiet talks, and soft lights. Humans were new to this group. Everyone had heard stories about Earth. They called it a Deathworld, a place full of storms, sharp mountains, deep oceans, hungry beasts, and tiny creatures that could make you very sick. The Concord wanted to be sure humans were safe to have around, so they made rules and tests. Today was one of those tests. In the middle of the station was a large round room called the trial chamber. It could change into any dangerous place to see how a person reacted. The aliens used it to check new species. They never made it deadly, but they made it scary. The Concord leaders picked the smallest human in the group for this test. Her name was Ji-Woo Kim. She was 14 years old, with short black hair and bright eyes. She wore a simple gray jumpsuit like the other humans. Ji-Woo had grown up on a rough colony planet called New Hope 4. There, kids learned to run fast, climb high, and laugh when things went wrong. The aliens thought a young girl would be easy to frighten. They wanted to see fear in her eyes. Fear would prove humans could be controlled. If she cried or begged to stop, they would feel safer. Two aliens stood in the observation room above the chamber. One was Tae-min, a tall insect-like being from the Virex people. His body was covered in shiny black plates, and his 6 legs clicked softly when he moved. His big compound eyes watched everything. The other was Sua, a bird-like creature from the Lirani flock. She had soft blue feathers, long wings folded against her back, and kind golden eyes. She was the gentle one who always tried to understand others. They looked at the screen that showed Ji-Woo waiting at the chamber door. "She is so small," Sua said in her soft musical voice. "Are you sure this is right?" Taemin's mandibles moved. "It is necessary. We must know if humans can stay calm. The young ones are supposed to be the weakest. If she breaks, the others will listen." Sua tilted her head, but she looks happy. Ji-Woo stood at the door, bouncing a little on her toes. She smiled at the camera and waved. "Hi! Is it time to start?" Taemin pressed a button. The door opened with a quiet hiss. Ji-Woo walked inside without hesitation. The door closed behind her. Lights dimmed. The floor changed from smooth metal to rough gray rocks. The air grew colder. A light mist began to float around. Not real poison, but something that smelled bad and made eyes water. Speakers played low, growling sounds, like big animals hiding in the dark. Ji-Woo looked around. She took a deep breath, then let it out slowly. "Okay," she said to herself. "This is like the old playground on New Hope, but with extra fog." In the observation room, Taemin turned up the settings a little. A holographic beast appeared. A big creature with 6 legs, sharp teeth, and glowing red eyes. It roared and ran toward Ji-Woo. Most aliens would have screamed and run to the wall. Some would have fallen down and begged. That was what the Concord expected. Ji-Woo did not scream. She stepped to the side, quick and smooth, like she was avoiding a friend in a game. The beast's claws passed close to her shoulder, but she did not flinch. She watched it turn and charge again. "Wow," she said, "you're fast, but you move your head first when you turn." "That's a bad habit." She crouched low. When the beast lunged, she rolled under its belly, popped up behind it, and tapped its tail lightly with her hand. "Tag, you're it!" The hologram snarled and spun around. Ji-Woo laughed, a clear, happy sound that echoed in the chamber. Taemin's mandibles clicked fast. She is not afraid. Why is she not afraid? Sua's feathers puffed up a little. Her heart rate is up, but not from fear. Look at the monitor. It is excitement. Ji-woo started to run in circles around the beast. It tried to catch her, but she was small and quick. She jumped over a rock, slid under a low branch that appeared from the wall, and kept moving. Every time the beast got close, she dodged or rolled away. After a minute, she stopped running. She stood still and looked straight at the creature. "Okay, big guy, let's see what you've got." Ji-woo waited until the last second, then jumped high. She grabbed onto the hologram's neck and held on tight. The beast shook its head hard, but Ji-woo laughed louder. "Ride him, cowboy," she shouted. She slid down its back, landed on her feet, and gave the beast a friendly pat on the side. "Good job, you almost got me that time." The hologram froze for a second, confused by the program. Then it roared again and attacked. Ji-woo did not wait. She picked up a loose rock from the floor, part of the simulation, and threw it. The rock hit the beast's nose. It shook its head. Ji-woo clapped. "Nice! 10 points!" In the observation room, more aliens joined Taemin and Sua. Hyun-woo, a furry diplomat from the Zelar species, stared at the screen with wide eyes. "This is not normal," he said. "She treats danger like a game." Taemin nodded slowly. "We need to increase the level." "But she is only a child." "She is human," Taemin answered. "They are different." He pressed more buttons. The mist became thicker. The temperature dropped fast. Small biting insects appeared, tiny holograms that stung like real ones. Wind howled through the chamber. Fake lightning flashed. Ji-woo shivered once, then grinned. "Now it's getting fun." She rubbed her hands together to warm them. Then she started to build something with the rocks and dirt on the floor. She made a small wall, quick and strong. When the insects swarmed toward her, she rolled in the dirt to cover herself. The biting stopped because the program saw her as hidden. She popped up, face covered in gray dust, eyes shining. Camouflage level, expert. The big beast came back, now moving faster. Ji-woo ran to her little wall and hid behind it. When the beast jumped over, she reached out and grabbed one of its legs. She pulled hard. Ji-woo jumped on its back again. "Round 2, she cheered. She rode the beast as it ran in circles. She whooped and laughed like she was on a fair ride. When it finally threw her off, she landed in a crouch, rolled, and stood up smiling. "Thank you for the ride," she said politely to the hologram. Then she looked up at the ceiling where she knew the cameras were. "Hey, up there. Can we make it bigger next time? This one is too easy." The observation room went completely quiet. Taemin's mandibles stopped moving. Sua's feathers lay flat against her body. Ji-woo sat down on a rock, crossed her legs, and started to hum a little song in Korean. She looked happy. She looked ready for more. The aliens stared at the small human girl who was not afraid. They had wanted to scare her. Instead, she was having the time of her life. They tried to frighten the human girl. Then she showed them how Deathworld kids play. The observation room stayed very quiet for a long moment after Ji-woo spoke to the camera. Her voice was cheerful, like she had just finished a fun game at school. Taemin stared at the screen. His mandibles opened and closed slowly. Sua's feathers trembled a little. Hyun-woo, the furry Zelar diplomat who had just walked in, scratched behind one ear in confusion. "She asked for it to be bigger," Hyun-woo said softly. "She wants more." Taemin looked at the control panel. His thin fingers hovered over the buttons. "We increase the difficulty. Level 3. Add real environmental stress. No more safe holograms only." Sua turned her golden eyes toward him. "But the guidelines say—" "The guidelines are for normal species," Taemin answered. "She is not reacting normally." He pressed the controls. Inside the chamber, the lights dimmed even more. The temperature dropped fast. Real cold air blew in through hidden vents. Small ice crystals formed on the rocks. The mist turned thicker and started to sting the skin a little. Not enough to hurt badly, but enough to make most people curl up and cry. Ji-woo felt the cold bite her arms and legs. She hugged herself for a second, then smiled wider. Okay, now it's like winter camp back home. She jumped up and down a few times to get warm. Then she looked around for something to do. The big holographic beast was still there, but now it moved slower because of the cold setting. Its breath came out in white clouds. Ji-woo ran to a pile of loose rocks. She started stacking them quickly. Her small hands worked fast. In less than a minute, she had a low wall, just high enough to hide behind. She crouched down and peeked over the top. "Come on, big guy," she called. "Don't be shy." The beast roared and charged. Its claws scraped the ground. Ji-woo waited until it was close, then rolled to the side. The beast crashed into her little wall and broke it apart. Rocks flew everywhere. Ji-woo laughed. "Strike! 10 points for style." She grabbed one of the bigger rocks that had fallen. It was heavy, but she lifted it anyway. When the beast turned to face her again, she threw the rock hard. It hit the hologram right on the snout. The beast shook its head like it was surprised. "Good throw," Ji-woo said to herself. She clapped her hands. The aliens watched with open mouths. Hyunwoo leaned closer to the screen. She built cover. Then she used the environment as a weapon. In under 2 minutes. Sua whispered. Her body temperature is dropping, but her heart rate is steady. She is not panicking. Taemin pressed another button. Now real biting insects appeared. Small flying things that looked like earth mosquitoes, but with glowing wings. They swarmed toward Ji-woo in a dark cloud. The program made their bites feel like sharp pinpricks. Ji-woo saw them coming. She did not scream. Instead, she dropped flat on the ground and rolled in the loose dirt. She covered her arms, legs, and face with gray dust. The insects flew past her because the sensors could not find her heat signature anymore. She popped up again, looking like a little mud monster. Only her eyes and teeth showed white against the dirt. She grinned. Camouflage check complete. The insects circled back. Ji-woo started to run in a zigzag pattern. She jumped over rocks, slid under low branches that grew out of the walls, and laughed every time one almost caught her. "This is like tag with my cousins," she shouted. "But you guys are slow." One insect landed on her neck and stung. Ji-woo slapped it away without stopping. Ow! That tickled. In the observation room, more aliens gathered. A tall crystal being named Sung-ho flickered with blue light. Her pain response is minimal. The sting should cause swelling and tears. She is not even scratching. Taemin's voice was low. Increase the swarm density and add wind gusts. The controls beeped. A strong wind started to blow through the chamber. It pushed against Ji-woo and made the cold feel worse. The insect swarm grew thicker. Now hundreds of them filled the air. Ji-woo stopped running. She stood still for a second, thinking. Then she ran to the side wall, where fake vines hung down. She grabbed one and pulled herself up. She climbed fast, using her feet to push against the wall. In seconds, she was 5 meters high. The wind tried to pull her down. She held tight and swung her legs. The insects followed, but the wind made them scatter. Ji-woo hung there like a monkey. She looked down at the beast below. It paced back and forth, growling. "Hey," she called to it. "You can't climb, can you?" Its claws scraped the wall, but it could not reach her. Ji-woo laughed again. She started to swing back and forth on the vine. Higher and higher. When she had enough speed, she let go and jumped. She flew through the air and landed right on the beast's back. She grabbed its neck with both arms and legs. Gotcha. The beast thrashed. It ran in circles. Ji-woo held on tight. She whooped and cheered like she was riding a bucking horse at a festival. In the observation room, silence. Hyunwoo spoke first. She is using the hazards to her advantage. The wind, The height, the swarm, she turned them into part of her game. Sua's voice was soft. Look at her face. She is happy, truly happy. Jiwoo rode the beast until it slowed down. Then she slid off its back and landed lightly on her feet. She patted its side like it was a pet. Good boy. You tried hard. The program tried to make it attack again, but Jiwoo was already moving. She ran to a corner where the wind had piled up snow and ice. She scooped up a handful and packed it tight. She turned and threw the snowball at the beast. It hit the creature right between the eyes. Bullseye! She made more snowballs fast. She threw them one after another. Some missed, some hit. Every time one landed, she cheered. The insects still buzzed around her. She ignored most of them. When one got too close, she swatted it like a fly. The cold was getting worse. Her fingers started to turn a little blue. But Jiwoo did not complain. She started jumping jacks to warm up. 1, 2, 3, she counted out loud. After 20 jumps, she stopped and looked up at the camera again. Hey, watchers, this is fun, but can we add some lava or something? Or maybe real rain? I like rain. Taemin's mandibles clicked loudly. She is bored. Seungho's crystals flashed bright. She wants escalation. She is asking for worse conditions. Hyunwoo shook his head slowly. We thought we were testing her fear limit. She does not have one. Or if she does, it is much higher than we imagined. Jiwoo sat down on the snowy ground. She crossed her legs and started to draw in the dirt with her finger. She drew a sun, a house, some trees, and stick figures running around. Then she drew a big monster with sharp teeth. She pointed at the drawing. This is you, she said to the hologram beast. And these are my friends and me. We play chase every day after school. Sometimes we play hide and seek in the forest. Sometimes we climb the big rocks by the river. The river has fast water and sharp stones at the bottom. One time I fell in, and my brother pulled me out. We laughed so much. She looked up again. You guys are scared of this? This is just normal playtime. The aliens in the observation room looked at each other. Sua spoke quietly. She thinks our worst nightmares are games. Taemin stared at the small girl on the screen. Her face was dirty. Her hair was messy. Her jumpsuit was torn in one place from climbing. But her eyes were bright. She was smiling. She was not afraid. She was waiting for the next level. Taemin took a slow breath. We go to level 4. Full environmental package. Real pain simulation. Class 10 Predator Core. Sua put a wing on his arm. Are you sure? Taemin did not look at her. We must see how far this goes. He pressed the final button. Inside the chamber, everything changed. They tried to frighten the human girl. Then she showed them how Deathworld kids play. The chamber lights flashed red for a second. A deep hum filled the air. Everything changed at once. The floor cracked open in places. Hot steam rose from the new gaps. Fake lava glowed orange under the surface. The temperature jumped from freezing cold to burning hot in seconds. Real heat waves rolled across the room. The air smelled like smoke and sulfur. Small flames appeared along the walls, controlled fires that licked at the edges but did not spread too far. The big holographic beast grew larger. Its body stretched until it was almost 3 times Jiwoo's height. New details appeared. Thick scales, long spikes on its back, glowing yellow eyes, and a mouth full of sharp teeth that dripped fake acid. The program added real pain feedback now. Every touch from the beast would send a mild electric shock through Jiwoo's jumpsuit. Not strong enough to injure, but enough to hurt. In the observation room, Taemin watched the monitors closely. His mandibles stayed tight. Sua stood very still. Hyunwoo covered his mouth with one furry paw. Seungho's crystals pulsed bright red, showing alarm. This is Class 10 escalation, Taemin said in a low voice. Maximum safe limit. If she shows fear now, we stop. Suwa whispered. If she does not, what then? No one answered. Inside the chamber, Jiwoo felt the sudden heat. Sweat appeared on her forehead right away. She wiped it with the back of her hand and looked around. Whoa, she said. You guys finally brought the heat. Nice. The giant beast roared so loud the walls shook. It stomped forward. Each step cracked the ground more. Lava bubbled up around its feet. Jiwoo did not back away. She took 3 quick steps forward instead. The beast swung one huge claw. Jiwoo ducked low. The claw passed over her head. She felt the whoosh of air. Then she ran straight at it. The observers gasped. Jiwoo slid between the beast's front legs like she was sliding into home base in a game. She popped up under its belly. She reached up and grabbed one of the lower spikes on its chest. She pulled herself higher. The beast tried to shake her off. It twisted its body hard. Jiwoo held on tight. Her small hands gripped the spike. Her legs wrapped around another part of its body. When the beast reared up on its back legs, Jiwoo climbed faster. She reached the neck. She locked her arms around it in a tight chokehold. Her legs squeezed its sides. The beast thrashed. It slammed its body against the wall. Sparks flew from the impact. Jiwoo felt the shock through her suit, a sharp sting across her back. She grunted once, but did not let go. Bad dog, she yelled. No slamming. She squeezed harder. The hologram started to glitch. The program tried to make it buck her off, but Jiwoo moved with it. Every time it twisted, she adjusted her grip. The beast dropped to all 4 legs again. It ran in circles, trying to throw her. Jiwoo laughed through the pain shocks. This is like riding the mechanical bull at the colony fair, she shouted. But this one has better graphics. In the observation room, Hyunwoo spoke in a shaky voice. She is enjoying combat. She is treating a Class 10 apex predator like playground equipment. Sungho's crystals dimmed. Her adrenaline levels are high but stable. No terror markers, only joy. Suwa stared at the screen. She called it a bad dog. Jiwoo finally let go. She slid down the beast's side, using its scales like a slide. She landed in a crouch. The beast turned to face her. It opened its huge mouth and roared right in her face. Hot fake breath washed over her. She reached out and patted the beast on the snout. Good try, she said, but you telegraph your lunges. You lift your head first. Makes it easy to dodge. The beast snapped its jaws. Jiwoo jumped back just in time. Teeth closed inches from her arm. She felt another shock, stronger this time. Ow, she said, rubbing her arm. Then she grinned. Okay, now you're playing rough, I like it. She ran to the side. Lava bubbled closer. The ground was hot under her shoes. She felt the heat through the soles. She hopped from one rock to another, avoiding the glowing cracks. The beast chased her. It smashed through small stone pillars that rose from the floor. Rocks flew. Jiwoo ducked and weaved. She grabbed a loose metal rod that had appeared as part of the wreckage. It was short, like a stick. She spun around and faced the beast. Come on, she called. Let's wrestle. The beast charged. At the last second, she sidestepped and swung the rod. It hit the beast's knee. The hologram stumbled. Jiwoo jumped on its back again. This time she climbed to the top of its head. She sat there like it was a throne. She held the rod like a sword. King of the mountain, she shouted. The beast shook its head wildly. Jiwoo almost fell, but she grabbed a horn and stayed on. More shocks ran through her body. Her arms started to feel numb from the electricity. Still, she laughed. The observers could not believe it. Taemin's voice cracked. She is directing the fight. She is giving it advice. She is teaching it how to attack better. Hyunwoo nodded slowly. She wants it to be harder. She is bored when it is too easy. Ji-woo slid off the head and landed in front of the beast. She dropped the rod. She spread her arms wide. Okay, big guy, final round, give me everything. The beast reared up one last time. It brought both front claws down hard. Ji-woo rolled forward between them. She popped up inside its guard. She grabbed its lower jaw with both hands. She pulled down hard. The beast's head lowered. Ji-woo used the momentum. She flipped over its snout and landed on its back again. She wrapped her arms and legs around the neck in the tightest hold yet. The beast thrashed for 10 more seconds. Then it slowed. The hologram flickered. It dropped to the ground with a heavy thud. Ji-woo stayed on top for a moment. Then she patted its head gently. Good game, she said. You got better at the end. Next time, don't open your mouth so wide when you roar. Leaves your throat open. She slid off and stood up. Her jumpsuit was torn in 3 places. Her face was red from heat and effort. Sweat dripped from her hair. Small burns marked her hands where she had grabbed hot parts. But her eyes sparkled. She looked straight at the camera. Hey, watchers, that was awesome. Can we make it bigger next time? And maybe add 2 of them? Or flying ones? I want to try aerial tag. Silence filled the observation room. Taemin stared at the small human girl standing over the fallen apex predator hologram. She was breathing hard, but she was smiling. Really smiling. Suah spoke first, her voice almost too quiet to hear. She won, and she thinks it was fun. Hyunwoo shook his head. We gave her our worst simulation. Pain, heat, cold, insects, monsters. She turned it all into a game. Sungho's crystals went dark for a second, then lit up again slowly. She is not broken, he said. She is delighted. Ji-woo sat down on the beast's side like it was a bench. She wiped her face with her sleeve. Then she started to hum a little tune again, the same Korean children's song from the beginning. She looked up once more. Thanks for the playtime, she said brightly, but I'm still not scared. When do we go to the next level? Taemin's hand hovered over the shutdown button. He looked at the other aliens. No one spoke. They had tried to frighten the human girl. Instead, she had shown them something they never expected. She had shown them how Deathworld kids play. They tried to frighten the human girl. Then she showed them how Deathworld kids play. The giant hologram of the beast faded away with a soft shimmer. The lava cracks in the floor cooled and closed. The hot steam disappeared. The biting insects vanished. The wind stopped. The chamber lights came back up slowly, soft and white again. Ji-woo stood in the middle of the now empty room. She breathed hard. Her chest moved up and down fast. Sweat ran down her face and neck. Her jumpsuit hung in pieces, one sleeve torn off completely, holes in the knees, burn marks on the arms. Small red spots showed on her skin where the shocks had hit hardest. Her hands shook a little from the cold and heat changes, but her eyes still shone bright. She looked around like she waited for the next game to start. In the observation room above, no one moved at first. Taemin stood frozen with his hands still on the control panel. Suah's feathers lay flat against her body. Hyunwoo sat on the floor because his legs felt weak. Sungho's crystals glowed a dull gray color, the color they used when a being felt deep shock. The silence lasted almost a full minute. Then Suah spoke in a small voice. She is still standing. Taemin blinked his many eyes slowly. She completed Class 10, full pain feedback, extreme environment shifts, and she thanked us. Hyunwoo rubbed his face with both paws. I need to see the data again. He pulled up the screens. Numbers and graphs filled the walls. Heart rate, adrenaline, cortisol, oxygen levels, pain markers, everything. Look, Hyunwoo said. He pointed to one line. Her stress hormones rose during the fight, but then they dropped, fast, like her body decided it was fun, and calmed down. Sungho's voice came out quiet and clear. Her nervous system adapted in real time. Most species would enter shock after that much change. She reset herself. Twice. Su'a stepped closer to the window that looked down into the chamber. Ji-woo had sat down on the smooth floor now. She crossed her legs. She drew pictures in the thin layer of dust left from the simulation. She drew a house, a tree, a swing. Then a group of stick figures holding hands. Next to them she drew bigger figures with sharp teeth. She made the stick kids bigger than the monsters. Taemin watched her draw. What is she doing? Su'a tilted her head. She is showing us her home, her memories. The monsters are part of her normal life. Ji-woo finished the drawing. She looked up at the camera. She smiled. Not a big grin this time, but a soft, real smile. You guys saw that, right? She said. Her voice sounded a little tired now, but still happy. That's how we play on New Hope 4. We don't have safe parks with soft grass. We have cliffs and rivers and forests full of things that bite. So we learn to bite back, or run faster, or climb higher, or laugh when we fall. She pointed at her drawing. See? The monsters lose because we don't stop. We keep going. Even when it hurts, even when we're cold or hot or scared a little, we just keep playing. She paused. She wiped some sweat from her eyes. Back home, we have a game called Last One Standing. You run through the storm fields when lightning comes. You hide in caves when the acid rain starts. You climb the iron trees when the ground shakes. Whoever stays out longest wins. I won last month. My brother said I cheated because I ate snow to stay cool. But I didn't cheat. I just used what was there. She laughed quietly. You tried to scare me with your big bad simulation, but you gave me recess. The best recess ever. The aliens listened. No one interrupted. Ji-woo kept talking. On Earth, the real one, not the colony, kids do the same. They surf big waves that can drown them. They ski down mountains that can bury them. They jump off bridges with ropes. They fight in rings just for fun. They climb rocks with no ropes. And when they fall, they get up. They laugh. They try again. She looked straight into the camera. So yeah, your scary room, it felt like home. In the observation room, more diplomats had arrived. Word had spread fast through the station. A crowd now filled the space. They watched in silence. Some held datapads. Some just stared. One small Irani child, Sua's niece, tugged on her aunt's wing. Auntie, is the human broken? Sua shook her head slowly. No, little one. She is the opposite of broken. She is whole. In a way we never understood. Taemin finally moved. He turned off the main control panel. The chamber door unlocked with a quiet click. Ji-woo heard it. She stood up slowly. Her legs wobbled for a second, but she straightened them. She brushed dust off her torn jumpsuit like it was nothing. The door slid open. Ji-woo walked out. The hallway outside was full of aliens. They stepped back to make a path. Tall ones, short ones, feathered ones, scaled ones, crystal ones, insect ones. All of them watched the small human girl with wide eyes. Ji-woo stopped in the middle of the hall. She looked around at all the faces. She smiled again. Tired, but bright. Thanks for the game, she said in a clear voice. It was really fun. If you want, I can teach you some of our games. We have one called red light, green light. It's easy. You just have to freeze when someone says red light. But if you move, you're out. We play it with wolves sometimes. Makes it more exciting. A few aliens made small sounds, gasps, clicks, chirps. Ji-woo kept going. Or tag. But on our colony we play predator tag. One person is the predator, everyone else runs. If you get tagged, you become predator too. Last one not tagged wins. We play it in the dark jungle. No lights, just sounds and shadows. She shrugged. It's good practice. Taemin stepped forward. His legs clicked softly on the floor. He bowed low, the deepest sign of respect his people used. "We misjudged you," he said. His voice shook a little. "We thought fear would make you listen. Instead, you showed us strength we did not know existed." Ji-woo tilted her head. "You didn't scare me. You just made me remember home." Sua came next. She spread her wings a little, a sign of trust. "Your kind raises children in danger, and they come out laughing." Ji-woo nodded. "Yeah, because if you cry every time it hurts, you never get to play again." Hyunwoo walked up slowly. He looked down at her. "Will you tell the others, the rest of the Concord?" Ji-woo thought for a second. "Sure, but only if you promise to try our games sometime. Not the scary ones, the fun ones, like hide and seek in zero gravity, or catch with bouncy balls in low oxygen. It's cool." The aliens looked at each other. Sung-ho spoke last. His crystals glowed soft blue now, calm. "We will listen. We will learn." Ji-woo yawned suddenly. The long simulation had finally caught up. "Okay, but first, can I get some water, and maybe a cookie? Playing makes me hungry." A small laugh went through the crowd. Nervous, surprised laughs. Sua nodded quickly. "Yes, of course. Come, we have food. Safe food." Ji-woo followed her down the hall. The other aliens parted, like water around a stone. They watched the small human girl walk away. Dirty, tired, torn clothes, but head high. No one tried to stop her. No one tried to frighten her again. Because now they understood. They had not tested a child. They had met a Deathworlder. And Deathworld kids did not play to win. They played to live. And they always, always kept playing. Ji-woo walked slowly down the wide hallway of Harmony Station. Her shoes made soft echoes on the shiny floor. Behind her, the crowd of aliens followed at a careful distance. No one spoke loudly. Some whispered. Some just watched with big eyes. The small human girl looked small between all the tall, strange bodies, but she walked like she belonged there. Sua stayed close beside her. The avian diplomat kept her wings folded tight, but every few steps she glanced at Ji-woo like she was something amazing and a little frightening at the same time. They reached a large open area called the Common Lounge. Soft lights glowed from the ceiling. Low tables and cushions sat around in circles. Food dispensers hummed quietly along one wall. The air smelled clean and a little sweet. Ji-woo stopped. She looked around. "This place is nice," she said. "Can I sit?" Sua nodded fast. "Yes. What do you need?" Ji-woo pointed to a dispenser that showed pictures of water and simple snacks. "Water first, and something sweet if you have it, like cookies or fruit bars." A Zellar attendant hurried over. He pressed buttons. A tray came out with a clear cup of cold water and a small plate of round brown cookies that smelled like chocolate. Ji-woo took the cup. She drank half in one long swallow. Then she picked up a cookie and bit into it. Her eyes closed for a second. Good. Thank you." She sat on a low cushion. Her torn jumpsuit looked even messier under the soft lights. Small bruises showed on her arms now. But she did not seem to mind. She ate slowly and looked at the aliens who had gathered in a loose circle around her. Taemin stepped forward first. He bowed again, lower this time. His mandibles moved carefully when he spoke. "We brought you here to test you," he said, "to see if humans could be trusted near us. We thought fear would show us your weakness. We were wrong." Ji-woo swallowed the last bite of cookie. She wiped her mouth with the back of her hand. "You didn't find weakness," she said simply. "You found what we do every day." Hyun-woo came closer. His fur stood up a little from nerves. "Your people raise young ones in places full of danger, and the young ones grow strong from it. Not afraid, not broken, stronger." Ji-woo nodded. "Yeah, my mom says if you only play in safe boxes, You never learn how to handle real things. So we play outside. We fall. We get hurt. We get back up. After a while, falling doesn't feel so bad. It just feels like part of the game. Sua sat down across from her. Her golden eyes were wide. But the pain, the shocks, the heat and cold, you felt them. Why didn't you stop? Why didn't you ask us to end it? Ji-woo thought for a moment. She looked at her hands, red and a little swollen. Because stopping means you lose, and I don't like losing. She smiled a small smile. Also, it was fun. Really fun. Like the best adventure ever. A quiet sound went through the aliens. Soft clicks, feathers rustling, crystals flickering. Sung-ho moved forward. His body glowed a gentle blue now. We have seen many species join the Concord. None ever treated our worst simulation like a playground. You did. You laughed. You asked for more. Ji-woo shrugged. Because it wasn't the worst. Not to me. The worst is when you're alone, and no one comes to help. Or when you're sick and can't move. Or when someone you love gets hurt and you can't fix it. That's scary. Your monster room? That's just a game with extra steps. She leaned back on her hands. You know what we call people who cry and quit when things get hard? We call them quitters. And quitters don't last long on Deathworlds, so we don't quit. We play harder. Tae-min looked at the other diplomats. What do you want now? We stopped the test. We will not try to frighten you again. But what happens next? Ji-woo thought. She tilted her head. I want to go home soon. But first, can we talk? Like real talk. Not tests, just talk. Sua nodded quickly. Yes, anything. Ji-woo sat up straighter. Okay, then listen. Humans aren't monsters. We don't want to hurt anyone, we just want to live. And we live in hard places, so we got tough. But tough doesn't mean mean. It means we protect what's ours. And we can protect friends too, if you let us. She looked around the circle. You're all soft-world people. Gentle, safe. That's okay. We like gentle. But if something bad comes, something that wants to hurt you, we can stand in front. We can fight. We can keep going when others stop. Because that's how we grew up. Hyun-woo spoke softly. You would protect us? Ji-woo nodded. If we're friends, yeah, that's what friends do. A long quiet followed. Then Tae-min spoke again. We will change our rules. No more tests like this for humans. No more trying to scare your young ones. We will treat you as equals. Strong equals. Ji-woo grinned. Good. Equals is fair. She stood up slowly. Her legs still felt a little shaky, but she hit it well. Now, can someone take me to my room? I want to wash up. And maybe sleep. Playing that much makes me tired. Sua rose at once. I will take you. Come. They started walking again. The crowd opened a path. As Ji-woo passed, some aliens bowed. Some raised wings. Some clicked mandibles in respect. One small crystal child reached out and touched her torn sleeve gently, then pulled back fast, like she had touched fire. Ji-woo noticed. She stopped. She knelt down so she was eye level with the child. Hey, she said softly. It's okay, I don't bite. The child's crystals glowed pink. You played with the monster. And won. Ji-woo laughed quietly. Yeah, but it was just pretend. Real monsters are scarier, but we beat them too. Want to know a secret? The child nodded fast. Ji-woo leaned closer. The secret is, you don't have to be big to win. You just have to keep going. One step, then another. Even when it hurts, even when you're scared. Keep going. That's how Deathworld kids play. The child's crystals shone brighter. It made a small, happy sound. Ji-woo stood up again. She waved at the crowd. Thanks for today. It was the best game I've played in a long time. See you tomorrow? Many voices answered. Yes, yes, tomorrow. Su'a walked with her to the human guest quarters. At the door, she stopped. "Ji-woo," she said, "you changed something in us today. We were afraid of humans. Now, we are a little afraid, but mostly, we are amazed. Thank you." Ji-woo smiled one last tired smile. "Just don't try to scare my friends when they come. They play even rougher than me." Su'a's feathers puffed up in surprise, then settled. "We will remember." Ji-woo went inside. The door closed softly. In the hallway, the aliens stayed for a long time. They talked in low voices. They shared what they had seen. They sent messages to their home worlds. The story spread fast. They said a human child had walked into their nightmare machine and walked out laughing. They said she had ridden monsters like pets. They said she had asked for more danger because it felt like home. They said Deathworld kids did not fear death. They played with it, and won. From that day, the Galactic Concord never again tried to frighten a human, because they had learned the hard truth. You do not scare a Deathworlder. You do not break one. You either become their friend, or you stay out of their way. Because when Deathworld kids play, the galaxy watches, and no one wants to be the monster that loses.